But if you're watching this on the live or on the replay, I'm doing a Q&A where you get to ask me a whole bunch of questions regarding maybe health, fitness, weight loss, nutrition, all of these topics. And what's going to happen on this show right now is just type your comments down in the comment box and I'll see it on my screen. I try to get to as many people as I can. I'm trying to do these lives maybe a couple of times a week where I get to ask or see your questions, answer them in the best way possible, and just provide the most amount of information that I can. And if you're with me on live right now, just type live down in the comments below so I can see that you're watching me right now. Or if you're watching this on a later time, on a replay, just type replay down below so I know you saw this video later and you got this information. So just ask any kind of questions you have in the comments. I'll get to see it on my screen. I'll pick some comments that may help you out, because if you have a question, I guarantee that at least probably 100 or maybe more people have the same exact question. So by asking me a question, you're directly helping somebody else get information that you're curious about. So ask me any kind of questions. I'll see it on my screen and we'll get this going. What's up, Heather? What's up, Cindy? Let me know where you're watching me from right now. I'm from New York. I'm curious where you're watching me from. Any questions? Health, fitness, nutrition. And before I start seeing your questions, I had a comment on one of my videos where somebody was asking me, my preteen or my teen is actually overweight and I want to help them lose weight. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things from my personal experience, because I used to be extremely overweight when I was a teen, where I experienced a lot of the things that teens currently go through. So if you're a parent, this may help you out. And some of the things that I want to share with you is, don't force your kid to do anything that you want them to do, because it will just create more of resistance. What I would recommend is to maybe suggest things that you want to do that are healthier. So maybe you want to go for a walk, but you indirectly ask your son or your daughter, hey, I'm going for a walk, would you want to come with me? Right? So you're kind of indirectly suggesting to them that they should go for it too, because you want to do it yourself. Whereas if you were to tell them, I want you to go for a walk, or I want you to exercise, they will likely not take it the right way. And some of the other things that you can do is just make better health food choices at home, whether it's cooking meals, maybe it's making better decisions. Because if you focus on your own health, you directly focus on your child's health, because they eat the same or similar foods that you eat. So by you taking care of and control of your own health, you allow your kids to actually make better choices for them. So whether it's maybe you want to just, maybe you don't even have to lose weight, but you want to eat better, begin to eat better, and it will rub off on your kids slowly. And a different thing that you may do is just have less highly caloric snacks available at your house. So maybe less chips, less cookies, less full calorie ice cream, and replace that instead uh, for maybe more fruit, more vegetables, more healthier choices of foods. And what this allows your child to do is just reach for those foods because they're there, instead of picking the chips, the ice cream, the cookies, because that's the only thing that's there. And I went through this myself. I was at my peak. I was 365 pounds, and I started losing weight when I was around 20, maybe, or 19, one of those things. But I was overweight for a large part of my life, all throughout my preteens and my teens. So I understand what kids react to, because it's what I'm not currently, but what I went through previously myself, and it's not easy. But if you take these things and you apply them, it's going to help out your kids in some kind of way. If you have kids right now, just type number 2 down below so I know this information is actually relevant to you. I know a lot of parents, follow me, they watch my videos, and a lot of them ask me questions. How do I help my kids become healthier? And it starts with you. And if you focus on yourself, it will slowly rub off on your kids and they will become healthier as a result. Let's take some questions. You want to lose weight? Lillian asks, I want to lose weight, but you just can't stop eating. First of all, you shouldn't stop eating, because you have to eat in order to lose weight. And the mentality behind weight loss shouldn't be, I have to stop eating. If your mentality is, I have to stop eating in order to lose weight, you will not lose weight successfully, because you have to eat. So it's about, what kind of food choices can I be eating, or should I be eating, instead not thinking about, I got to stop eating completely. That is not a very healthy mindset. So what I would recommend is to just figure out different kinds of food choices that you should be eating to keep you full. High voluminous foods, more proteins, more fruits and vegetables, more or less liquid calories. Don't think about it from a perspective of, I have to stop eating. If that is your perspective from right now from day one, you will not be successful. So it's how do I eat as much as possible to meet my caloric requirements and feel as full as possible? Because the goal with losing weight is to eat as much as possible while losing weight, and that's done through voluminous foods that will fill you up for a very long period of time. And it's not by how do I eat as little as possible. How do I eat as little as possible and get away with it? That is the wrong mentality. And I went through a process, so I know exactly what you mean. And the answer is not how to eat as little as possible. That is the wrong mentality. Let's see. Calorie, can I explain a calorie deficit? Absolutely. So first of all, in order for your body to maintain its current weight, that's organs. Your organs don't take, your body takes calories to just maintain organs the way that they work, your metabolism, the activities that you do. Your body takes a certain amount of calories to perform its functions. On top of that, if you add an exercise, that's requiring your body to burn or use more calories. So we all have a number of calories that allows our body to maintain its weight on, whether you do exercises or you don't. Even by laying in bed still and not doing anything, your body still takes calories to, keep its weight. So once you figure out the number that is appropriate for you, whether it's through a calculator, maybe it's a more in-depth approach, you get a number. And this number usually means that your body maintains its weight on. Let's say it's 3,000 calories. So that is your maintenance calories. That's where your body maintains its weight. And what you do to create a deficit is to just reduce the calories. So if you currently maintain weight on 3,000 calories, 2,900 calories will put you in a deficit. Now, how large your deficit is will create how fast you lose weight, but you don't want to lose weight too quickly because it's not the best thing from day one. So maybe three to 500 calories. Create a deficit from your maintenance to your deficit calories, about from 3 to 500 calories. So maybe if your maintenance is 3,000, now you're eating 2,700 or 2,500. That's a pretty decent amount. I'm not saying that you should be specifically eating that many calories because you're different. This is just an example, but that's how you create a deficit. You have your maintenance calories, you reduce a little bit depending how fast you want to lose weight or what you're comfortable with or what you're able to be sustainable or what you're able to create sustainability with, and you use that as consistently as possible. And consistency is by far the most important thing. You apply it, you see how your weight fluctuates, and you see the results. But what you don't want to do is maintain weight on 3,000 calories and all of a sudden start eating 1,200 because you think that, oh, it's a 1,800 calorie deficit. I should lose weight as quickly as possible. That is the wrong mentality because more isn't better, because that is not sustainable. That is in no way enjoyable, and your chance of failure is so much higher because you can't create sustainability by creating such large deficits. So small deficit, but a decent enough deficit to lose at least a pound a week and get your momentum going. Let's take some more questions. You struggle with boredom eating, Sarah asks, and snacking. Boredom eating and snacking. So that's a big struggle for a lot of people. What I would recommend is to fill up on the essentials from real meals, from full meals. So, for example, if you find yourself snacking after dinner, ask yourself, why is this happening? Maybe my dinner wasn't large enough. If that's the case, I would suggest to make your dinner a bit larger by including a bit more vegetables, a bit more protein, maybe like some more potatoes, if that's the case. Because if your meal is larger, it creates more, it allows you to be more satiated, which causes you to snack less because you're not that hungry. But if you are hungry because your meal, lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever it is, wasn't that filling, you are more likely to snack and eat because you have to. So focus on making your meals larger in volume relative to your goals, because that will help eliminate or reduce the snacking. As far as boredom, what I would personally recommend is what I do. So, for example, if I'm sitting on the couch watching TV or I'm just on my phone and I get bored and I feel like I want to eat from boredom, I pause for a little bit, maybe a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And I ask myself during that time period, do I really want to eat because I'm hungry? Am I bored? Am I stressed out? So by doing that and pausing for a little bit, you understand and you have more self accountability about why it's actually happening. Because if you just eat because you feel it quickly, and you go to the kitchen, you eat whatever's in sight, and you don't pause, you end up eating a whole bunch of stuff for no reason because you're not even hungry. But if you pause for a little bit and you ask yourself, am I really hungry? If that's the case, go eat. Go eat something right. Go eat something that is filling, maybe some fruit, some berries, maybe a wrap left over dinner. But if you still want to eat after you ask yourself that question, have a little bit. It's not going to make or break your progress. Just how eating perfectly fine for a whole week will not let you or allow you to reach your goals. So one single meal, one snack will not make a difference, but if done consistently, it will slow down your progress. So ask yourself, why do I want to eat? If it's a boredom eating, or maybe it's stress eating, pause for a little bit. Ask yourself. You create a bit more self accountability, and you end up making better choices as a result. Thank you for following me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Any other questions that you have, just write them down in the comments. I'll get to as many people as I can. Because if you ask a question, I almost guarantee a lot of other people have the same exact question. So by asking it, you help out so many other people. Is MyFitnessPal okay to help me with figuring out how many calories I should be eating? MyFitnessPal, I haven't really used to calculate calories. I only use it to track calories or log food. What I would do is I would type in TDEE calculator into Google. There's probably a whole 10 million pages. They're all pretty similar, but you'll get a general number, which is good enough. It's not going to be perfect, but that starting number that you will get from that calculator is good enough that you can take that number, apply it to MyFitnessPal, adjust it, and follow it to the best of your abilities. How to mentally be ready. How to mentally listen. You're never going to be ready. If you wait for the perfect opportunity to start, you're going to end up wasting a lot of time. So the thing is to do this when you're not ready. Because if you keep waiting for the perfect time, for the stars to align, for that nagging injury to finally be better before you start getting healthier, maybe for the summertime to start so you can give yourself a decent time frame, it's never going to be the right time. So just start when it's not perfect, because imperfect action is always better than no action. So you will not always be mentally ready. You will not be motivated as much as you feel like you might be motivated. So the thing is to just do this as best as you can. Be consistent in being good enough. Do not chase perfection. Don't chase crazy goals for yourself in a very short period of time, because that will just lead to failure and burning out, because you'll keep chasing those crazy goals like 6 pounds a week. Yeah, it's great if you hit it in 1 week, but what happens when you fall short the next week when you only lose a pound? You feel defeated. Whereas if you were to chase a pound, 2 pounds a week, that is so much more consistent. That is so much more sustainable than chasing crazy numbers. So as far as being mentally ready, you would never be mentally ready. It's just not a reality. But if you are, if something clicks, take that action and just apply it and just do what you have to do. But as far as what can you do to be mentally ready, is ask yourself, do I need this or do I want this? It has to be a need for you. Look at the bigger picture. For me personally, it wasn't a want. I didn't want to lose weight. I didn't think about losing weight. I mean, that was just my life. I was comfortable being uncomfortable, right? I was overweight. I was tired. I was groggy, brain fog, like along with all the like internal issues I was having. And I didn't want to lose weight because it wasn't a need for me. And then my doctor told me some things that they told me, and then it became a need for me. Then it was just I did whatever I could in order to lose weight. I made a ton of mistakes, which is why it took me such a long time to lose the weight. But I wasn't mentally ready. I just had to do it and just figure it out later. So don't worry about the details. Don't worry about figuring things out right now. Cross that bridge when you get there and figure out those details when you need to. Right now, you don't need to worry about the details about how many grams of this and that you should be eating. What's better, potatoes or white rice or brown rice? You don't need to figure out those details. If you want to do that later on, do it, but just take the first step. You know, just try to be a bit better today than you were yesterday, whether it's by eating a bit more, or if it's not eating better, um, walk a little bit, maybe go for a workout. Just get on the right path and figure out the details when you need to. Because if you end up trying to figure out all the details right now, you will experience paralysis by analysis. And that's the wrong, that happens to a lot of people, but it's the wrong thing, because you shouldn't care about all these details. They don't matter right now. And if you're getting value from this video, from this Q&A so far, drop a fire emoji down below, so I know that this is actually useful for a lot of people, so I can keep doing this later on. And I appreciate everybody for being here, because this does help a lot of people. How long did it take me? So I lost 135 pounds. It took me around 4 years. I know it's a long time, and I get a lot of people messaging me saying stuff like, "Oh, I lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Why did it take you 4 or so years?" And I say exactly like this. I say, "Congratulations on your weight loss, but I am not you. I didn't have the information that you may have. Maybe I did. I mean, for a fact, I did things wrong, but I did it by trial and error. It was me, magazines, it was like Google and stuff like that. I didn't have anybody just guiding me along the way. If I did, I'm sure I would have lost it faster, but I don't regret making those mistakes by any means. I understand I wasted time, a lot of time, but I learned from my mistakes, and it taught me a lot. Let's see some more questions. Did my testosterone naturally rise when I lost weight? Yes. So I made a video about this on one platform, I believe, a few days ago, about testosterone. And this is very, very important. So when I was at my heaviest, my testosterone was about high 200s, maybe like 270, something like that. And for a male, especially that age, I believe that's considered low testosterone, low T, and the upper limit being like 900, I think. So I was extremely low on testosterone. And I don't really care about the muscle gain. That wasn't the whole point of me, saying this right now, is because how it affects your mood, right? How it affects you mentally. Maybe I was more tired. You know, I wasn't sexually active and stuff like that, because it's all, a lot of it relies on testosterone. So what happened was, as I um, lost weight, not only lost weight, but started eating better. I started to move more. I started to put on a bit of muscle. My testosterone increased. And I believe my last blood test, I was about 750 or 800 testosterone, and the upper limit being 900 or so. So, I mean, yeah, you will increase your testosterone if you're low testosterone. If you lose weight, maybe you supplement vitamin D, zinc, stuff like that. Maybe you eat better, not have a low fat diet, because you got to have a decent amount of fat in your nutrition to regulate your hormones and stuff like that. But losing weight definitely helped me as far as my testosterone levels. And it's mostly, for me, it's a big benefit mentally, because low testosterone sucks. It's mentally, it sucks. It's not easy. It makes you feel like crap, and it's not a good place to be in. Keep asking me questions. I'll try to get to as many people as I can, to the best questions that might help out as many people as possible. Yeah. So Judy asks, did I have knee pain or back pain prior to the weight loss? Lower back pain. I definitely had lower back pain upon waking up. Maybe if I was standing up too much, the constant compression on my lower back put my back under a lot of stress. So I did have low back pain. And naturally, what's going to happen if you have knee pain, lower back pain, maybe hip pain. If you lose weight, that's just less compression on your joints, because gravity is a thing. So even if you lose 20, 30 pounds, the amount less pressure that will have on your body is dramatic. So it will definitely help you out. So if you have any kind of pains in your joints right now, consider dropping weight if you have an extra weight on your body, because it will definitely help out. And if you want some personal guidance and some support on reaching your own weight loss goal the right way, so you can actually keep the weight off, you can either type "coach me" down below, or message me on Facebook, say "coach me," so I know that you reached out to me. I may not get back to you as soon as possible, but I get a lot of messages, so I'll get back to you, in a timely manner. But if you do want that, hand holding approach, because I know it is very personal, just type "coach me" down below, or shoot me a message, say "coach me," and we'll talk about that. What's up from Canada? What do I think about intermittent fasting? So intermittent fasting is something that I did for many years, on and off. And why intermittent fasting works is not because it's magical. It's not because it targets or zaps fat cells. It's because it reduces the eating window of your day. So, for example, if you're the type of person to snack in the morning and in the evening, that's extra calories. Maybe with coffee, you have some cookies, maybe some Oreos, maybe a small sandwich. Maybe after dinner at 10 o'clock before you go to sleep, you have some candy, some chocolate covered, I don't know, peanuts or whatever it is. That's a lot of calories. So that's a few hundred here, a few hundred there. Now, if you tell yourself instead of, maybe I'll snack to now you can't eat during a certain time period, what that does is you eliminate the possibility of snacking and over consuming calories during that time period. So for me, I did 12 to 8, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. because I'm a huge nighttime snacker. I eat a lot in the evening. So by me having a cutoff at 8 p.m., my mentality went from I'll have a bit of this to snack on, it's not going to do a thing, to now I can't eat this food after a certain period of time because that's what I told myself. And it helps you create a caloric deficit by implementing a time window. That's all it does. There's no magical effects. It's not that serious. It's just it helps you create a caloric deficit by means of a time window. That's what I did. I currently do it maybe occasionally, not all the time, but if you want to try it, listen, it's going to work if it fits your schedule. If it adds extra hurdles to your schedule, if you're the type of person to eat in the morning because you have a very early job, maybe you have to eat in the morning because you train, you got to have some kind of food in your system, it's probably not for you. But if you have a schedule that accommodates it, maybe it's for you. Then again, it's nothing special. There's no magical components to it. It's just a means of helping you create a caloric deficit by introducing a time window. That's it. Keep asking me questions. Is there a fee for coaching? Yes. So there's a fee for coaching. It's not just me, it's also my team. I have an assistant coach. She's absolutely awesome. And I do this for a living. So, if you want some personal guidance and some support, reach out to me, say coach me down below, shoot me a message. But it is not free. I'll try to provide as much information for free as possible. But if you want that extra support, somebody to be hand in hand with you essentially along the way, that's what I'm here for, to teach you and make sure you actually keep the weight off. No gimmicks, none of that stuff. That's not what I do. I actually show you what to do step by step in relevance to what goals you have for yourself. So Axel asks, I need help with what to eat for dinner that will keep you full. Chicken bone in with skin, good to eat. So generally what you want to do in order to feel full is there's nothing wrong with chicken with the bone in and the skin. I mean, it's delicious, right? But you run into not a problem, but um, a thought, I guess. If you have the skin on the chicken, it's not going to make or break your progress, but it will just have more calories. So what I personally do is I eat large. My dinner is the largest meal of the day, and my dinner is usually as close to bedtime as possible. That probably goes against what you're used to hearing. People say that all you can't eat after 7 p.m. is going to turn to fat or something like that. But since I mentioned before, I'm a big nighttime snacker. If I eat at 6 p.m., I go to sleep at 9 or 10 or whatever it is, that's a lot of hours between dinner and going to sleep to where I can potentially be hungry. So I try to push my dinner closer to bedtime and I make my dinner larger in volume so that it fills me up for as long as possible and I don't have that urge to snack mindlessly because I'm just hungry. So my dinner is usually large in volume. Salads, potatoes, yeah, but regular potatoes. I'm not a big fan of sweet potatoes. Um, I know it's shocking because people say you gotta eat, or white potatoes are bad for you. It's not. They're actually the most filling food there, or one of the most filling foods there is. As far as meat or protein, I make sure to eat a lean protein. So I usually do chicken breast, chicken thighs without with the fat cut off. If I'm eating chicken, usually no skin because it's a lot of extra calories, which I'm conscious of. Tons of vegetables. If I'm not having a salad, I make sure to take some pickled or fresh vegetables, just put it on the side of my plate because the goal is to fill me up for as long as possible. You know, yeah, you want to make your dinner as large as possible by volume to not allow you to feel so hungry afterwards, end up snacking mindlessly. and just end up consuming way more calories than you would have wanted to. Whereas if your dinner was a bit larger, you wouldn't overconsume the calories, if that makes sense. If that just made sense what I said, because people get really caught up on not eating after 7 p.m. and not eating potatoes for whatever reason, just drop a fire emoji so I know this is actually like resonating with you, because I don't know who says, how did this myth even start about eating after 7 p.m. and potatoes being bad for you? It's complete nonsense. Potatoes are super filling, and eating after 7 p.m. is definitely not a bad thing. It's actually one of the most beneficial things. Is there a salad limit? I mean, listen, I can't tell you what your limit is because you are your own person with your own goals and nutritional outlines. But even if there's no limit to salad, I mean, salad generally is pretty low calorie. It's very, very hard to overeat your calories on salad. Just how it's very hard to overeat your calories on potatoes. And you try eating 3 baked or boiled potatoes. See how difficult that is to eat. It'll take you a long time. You'll be super full from eating that, unless you have dressings, croutons, cheese, seeds, raisins, dry fruit in your salad. That turns your salad and makes it from like a few hundred calories to maybe a thousand easy. In that sense, yeah, it's very easy to overconsume calories on a salad if that salad has a whole bunch of different dressings, seasonings, sauces, or croutons or cheese. So understand what kind of salad you're having. If it's a Caesar salad with like a traditional Caesar salad, yeah, it's gonna be very caloric. But if it's a regular salad with maybe some balsamic vinaigrette, whatever, maybe some, I don't know, hot sauce. I put hot sauce in my salad. It's You can eat a lot of it and not over consuming calories. So it's about what's in that salad. I can't tell you what your limit is because I'm not looking at the food. But generally, a regular plain salad with a little bit of dressing and no crazy additions, it's very difficult to overeat that salad. Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of salad dressings can kill a salad because your salad may go from 200 calories to you put in a little bit of dressing. Now your salad becomes 400 calories. You put in a few croutons, a few shredded pieces of cheese. Now your salad is 500 calories. Whereas you could have taken that plain salad or plain-ish salad, tripled it in serving sizes, be a lot more full and not over consuming calories because you didn't add the extra dressings to it. So volume eating is a very, very important approach. Yeah, I put hot sauce in everything. I'm strange like that. What about keto? So I do listen, I don't hate on keto. I'm not a big fan of it. People think that I hate keto. My perspective or my point or stance, I guess, on keto is that I want this to be as sustainable as possible for as many people as possible. And keto is simply not sustainable. If you're an anomaly, you're one out of a million people who say, yeah, I've been doing keto for years, where those people tend to just not say the entire truth. They might do keto for a few months, go back to their old ways, then start keto up again. But keto is not sustainable. So a lot of people end up actually failing with keto because they do it for a little bit. They lose some weight, a lot of it being water weight because you're not consuming carbs. They sniff a carb afterwards and they bloat up 10, 15 pounds. They feel defeated and frustrated. But what does that do mentally for you? Not physically, but mentally. You feel defeated. You feel like a failure. You feel like nothing is working and the whole world is crumbling down. So it's not a good thing mentally. But if keto allows you to just make a bit better choices, to prioritize yourself and your health and maybe weight loss and fitness, all these things, if doing keto just gets you on the right track, that's awesome. Just know that you will not be doing keto years down the line, probably even months down the line. So if you want to do keto, if you want to do low carb, I'm not a big advocate of those things at all. But if that gets you to be healthier, to start prioritizing yourself, to start understanding that you got to do this for yourself, that's awesome. Keep doing that. Just know that it will not be sustainable. And when you start getting off track from keto, for example, and you start putting on the weight, know that it's to be expected. And if you understand that going into it, it doesn't create such a mental like hang up or mental frustration because nothing is working for you. So I just understand that. So you're doing Atkins right now, doctor prescribed. What do I think? To put it, a lot of doctors are not very well versed in nutrition. They tend to just stick to diets, like plain cookie cutter diets, like don't eat after 6 p.m. Do Atkins, do keto, do low carb, very blanket statements. So I would ask your doctor, why do you want me to do keto? Maybe there is actually a medical reason for it, but people think that doctors, and they're extremely smart in their field, but nutrition wise, a lot of them give advice that is not realistic. It's very blanket statement. It's a blanket statement as far as nutrition for the person. So I would look at perhaps doctors that are actually have studied nutrition. Maybe they're doctors in the obesity field. Maybe they study obesity or weight loss. There's actually doctors in that, but a regular physician will not be extremely well versed. Some are, but most aren't in weight loss. Even specialized doctors like maybe, I don't know, foot doctors, surgeons, they're amazing in what they do, but as far as nutrition, it's not that accurate. So just take that with a grain of salt. As far as hypothyroid, how would you calculate the calories? First of all, hypothyroid requires, if this is your case, special medication. I think it's thyroxine. I keep forgetting that name, but it requires medication. So if that's your case and you are on medication, you should take the right amount, and a hypothyroid or hypothyroidism will reduce your metabolic rate a little bit. So I will take that into account. But the only true way to know how much you should be eating is to pick a number of calories based on some calculations from the calculator or tracking food. See how it affects your body with the hypothyroidism. Granted, you're taking your medication how you should be, and see, how your weight is fluctuating. If it's not moving, try to eat a bit less or move a bit more. You know, um, People that have hypothyroidism, they still have a metabolism. It's just not as optimal as somebody else's metabolism might be. So calories still matter by far. It's not you. You can still lose weight the same way everybody else does, but you may have to eat a bit less. Maybe you got to do some things differently. But calories still matter whether you have it or not. So I would recommend just tracking your calories, what you're eating right now, see how your body is fluctuating, and see how to make some changes going forward. Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is nothing special. Absolutely, it's just it creates a caloric deficit by counting points instead of counting calories. It's I'm not a big fan of it because it's again not the most sustainable thing. I would recommend to just follow a proper, well-rounded nutrition plan with either counting calories or logging food. But Weight Watchers also doesn't take any kind of crazy approach. It just allows you to count food by counting points. That's all it is. Keep asking me questions down below, because if you ask a question and somebody else has it, you're effectively helping somebody else by asking these questions. If you're getting value so far, drop a fire emoji down below so that I personally know that I should keep doing these Q&As, because I feel like they help people, but I'm curious if it's actually helping you. So Lillian asks, you get home at 7:30 p.m. and you will keep yourself from eating even if you're extremely hungry. I thought that would stop the weight gain. So if you're hungry, just eat, because a single meal isn't going to get you to your goal ever. And a single meal won't get you off track. But if you starve yourself when you're hungry because you feel like it's a very bad association with eating the food after 7:30 p.m., it affects you long term mentally, because you create a very unhealthy relationship with food, and that is long lasting unless you fix it. So maybe have a bit larger dinner, have maybe a small dinner, maybe have a second dinner, who cares? Just make sure you're not enabling this thought process from going on and on. You have to get out of that mindset and understand that this is a long-term play. This is not a lose weight quick thing. So if you're hungry, just eat in accordance to your nutrition goals. Don't starve yourself, don't skip meals, and definitely don't look at food as either being good or bad. And that's where it really starts with, is people look at food as being good or bad. And once that happens, they eat some a food that's actually bad, or they think it's bad, and it creates a whole like a guilt trip, which leads down a very slippery slope to a point where they feel like a failure. They start binge eating or eating more, and it's a very unhealthy mindset. So separating yourself away from that by not starving yourself, not skipping meals, and not looking at as food as being bad, that's what should be done first. Weigh in every day, up to you. If you hate the scale, don't weigh in every day, but you should still do it once in a while under the same conditions to understand kind of like where your weight is. But first of all, like, weight is just one calculation or one measurement of your body's progress. It's not the whole defining thing, because your weight may stand still, but your body will change drastically. That's an amazing thing, right? But personally, I weigh myself every day. I started doing that a few months ago to get a more consistent trend line. But some people don't like it. Don't feel forced to weigh yourself every day. Do it once a week, once every 2 weeks. But make sure it's under the same conditions. Usually in the mornings, but do it once in a while so you get an idea kind of where you're at. Thoughts on collagen? As far as like, studies have proven it's nothing special. Collagen is mostly a waste of money. It may have some benefits for like nails and skin, but biotin does the same exact thing. So collagen is, don't believe the hype. It's a lot of it's marketing. Let's see. Thank you so much for being on these, because I enjoy personally doing these because I feel like they help a lot of people. And if I can help out a few people, my job is done. You lost 7 pounds, but very slow. That's amazing. You lost 7 pounds. I mean, who's to say it's slow? If you lose a pound a week, that's over 50 pounds over the course of a whole year. Over 50 pounds. And most people don't have 50 pounds to lose. So slow is mental. It's a mindset. How you look at it is what we consider slow. I wish I lost a pound a week back then. That would have been amazing. But what I personally did is I lost 5 pounds, lost 1 pound, gained 5 pounds, lost 8 pounds, lost one, felt defeated, binge ate. This was my weight loss the entire time. Whereas if I was to lose 1 pound a week, I would have lost my weight in about 2 years or so, instead of doubling that time. So how you look at this is important. What whey protein do I use? I use a Legion Whey and bodybuilding.com whey. Do I eat protein in every one of my meals? Absolutely. Yeah, so my non-negotiable for myself is every meal is a meal only if it has protein. That's my non-negotiable. Every meal, if a meal has no protein, it's not considered a meal for me. So my thought process is, where is the protein coming from? Because I try to make sure every one of my meals has protein, non-negotiable. You're not a big water drinker? You bought Crystal Light? Yeah. I mean, listen, it's liquid intake. It's not just water intake throughout the day. If it's coffee, tea, water, diet soda if you like it, Crystal Light, water seasonings, whatever you want, just get that liquid intake in and not be thirsty. Don't drown yourself in liquids because somebody told you got to drink 18 gallons of water every single day. 15 pounds in 2 months. That's absolutely amazing. Congratulations. That makes me really happy to hear. If you want some personal guidance and some support on just losing weight the right way and actually keeping it off, type coach me down below. Shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger. Say coach me, so I know that you're reaching out to me for that, and I'll get back to you in a timely manner. I can't guarantee I'll get back to you immediately because I get a lot of messages. But if you want some hand-holding approach to losing weight, where I show you things step by step and kind of walk you through it, just type coach me down below. Shoot me a message, and we'll talk about that. 15 pounds in 2 months. That's a lot of weight in 2 months. I'm proud of you. What causes you to feel dizzy after strenuous walking, or what would help with that? Honestly, I don't know what causes you to feel dizzy. It could be maybe low blood sugar, which is what I personally experienced before myself. It could be something medical. No, knock on wood. Hopefully, it's not. But if it is, I would get that checked out with a professional. That maybe that could perhaps trigger that and have it happen, so they can see exactly what's happening. That was my own thing. My blood flow wasn't that good, but I can't tell you. You guys see a professional to see exactly what's going on. If you weigh in every day, your body weight will fluctuate. That is a standard. It will probably look like this. And the goal with it looking like this is you want to make sure it's slowly going downhill, slowly, because it's the trend line that you're after. I have no ruler here, but you want your trend line to look like this. So it may have a bunch of different, ups and downs, but as long as it slowly goes down like this, that's the only thing that matters. It will fluctuate. My weight fluctuates easily by 4 pounds a day. If I eat a few extra tacos, it fluctuates. But I know it's meant to happen because different carbs, sodium, the amount of food that's sitting in my system, the water that I drank or tequila that I drank, and it will fluctuate. But as long as it goes down a little bit over a long period of time in the direction that you want it to go into, you will be successful. So don't look at the day-to-day fluctuations as the ultimate deciding factor of what you should change on a daily basis. If you go up in weight and you start changing things because your weight went up, it's not the right thing, because you're going to end up losing weight the following day. It's not going to be sustainable. You'll end up eating a bit more, gain the weight, feel like a failure, start changing things again. And it's like a vicious cycle that would just never end. So don't change things and don't feel frustrated over your weight fluctuating, because it will fluctuate, especially if you weigh yourself every single day. Best way to set macros and calorie goals. For calorie goals, I will use a TDEE calculator. As far as macros, if you have more body fat, I would do from anywhere from 0.8 to 1 gram of lean body weight. Because if you do 0.8 or 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight and you have an excess amount of fat, that would be just way too much protein. So lean body weight is what we want to aim for, and then take 0.8 around 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight, and try to aim for that. But calories matter above all. £12 in a month, that is amazing. Wow. Yeah, I appreciate everybody for being here. And if this video helps you out, make sure you like it. Maybe tag somebody in the comments below, or you share this video with somebody else. Let me also get some kind of value from this video, and it also helps me out tremendously. It helps me boost the algorithm so more people see it, and it helps me out as well. Let's take a few more questions before we hop off this Q&A. Opinion on Slim Fast, or why meal replacements do I recommend? So I do not recommend meal replacements, especially for weight loss. I don't recommend detoxes or cleanses. They're a complete waste of money. Slim Fast, why it works is because you create a caloric deficit but you also create a reliance on a meal replacement shake. You don't want to create any kind of reliances while you're losing weight. You don't want to create a reliance on any kind of specific diet, a detox, a cleanse, a meal replacement, or a supplement, because you can't maintain that reliance for your entire life. So Slim Fast, I had no idea they even had Slim Fasts anymore, but it's just a meal replacement. And when you're losing weight, you want to eat regular food. You want to drink your calories, because if you drink your calories, it's not going to fill you up for that much for a long period of time. So just eat your food, chew your food, because food that is more difficult to digest, takes longer to digest, is actually better for weight loss, because it keeps you fuller for longer. If you drink your calories, it'll digest quickly and you'll be more hungry sooner. So just chew your food, eat whole foods. But as far as Slim Fast, if you want to drink it as a snack instead of a protein shake, do it. But I would always personally rather eat my food and chew my food. Is there an app for calorie counting that I recommend? MyFitnessPal. It gets the job done. The free version is more than enough. What do I think about learning about hormone type for losing weight? If hormone type for weight loss is, if that's anything similar to blood types for weight loss, complete nonsense. There's no blood type for weight loss. There's no. It's about energy intake. Your energy intake has nothing to do with your hormone type or your blood type. Your body has a number of calories, energy numbers that it requires, and as long as you meet that, you will be fine. Other factors matter, of course, but it's all a numbers game. It's not about the hormones. It's not about the blood type. It's not these crazy things. It's not like that. It's a lot more simpler than it is, and the more we focus on the simplicity, the easier it becomes. When do I work out? Mornings or evenings? I used to work out 5 o'clock in the morning for a couple of years, about 4 years, but now I work out in the afternoon. And I appreciate everybody for being here. I love doing these Q&As because I feel like they help out a lot of people. And if you've gotten value so far, drop a fire emoji down below. So I know this video was helpful for you. And again, share this video, give me a thumbs up, like this video so it helps me out a little bit. Tag somebody in the comments that may also need to get this information. So hopefully it helps them out. So let's do one more question before we get off this Q&A. Your friends are pushing you to get sleeve surgery because they have it. What's your opinion on that? Sleeve surgery, that is, I'm nobody to recommend any kind of surgery for anyone. You have to understand why it may be beneficial for you, or because it's not just about the surgery, it's about understanding how to eat right once you get the surgery. It's a very long-term picture. Once you get the surgery, there's a whole nutritional concept to this. You got to learn how to eat right. But if you've run out of choices, if you've tried everything, and the circumstances are just in a way that that's the last option, maybe get it, but don't be pushed into it because somebody else has gotten it. Don't be peer pressure into that. It's a surgery, so it's a lifelong thing. So if you're being pressured into this, I would suggest to take a step back and realize that it's happening and see what other options you may have, because surgery is the last resort in a sort of way. There's so many other options to get around this. Don't take my advice. Don't allow me to influence you. Understand that you shouldn't be peer pressured into making such a big decision. And because if you get it and you ultimately don't want to get it, you can't really reverse it, right? So I know a lot of people personally have gotten weight loss surgeries that either gain the weight back or it just becomes unmanageable because they have no idea how to eat right. They're maybe nutrient deficient because they have no idea what nutrients they have to eat. It's a process, right? So understand why or what your options are, why those are your options. Speak to a professional, not somebody on the internet like this, and see, and don't be influenced or pressured into making such a huge decision like this for yourself, because this will impact your life, essentially. Cool. So I appreciate everybody for being here. Again, if you want some personal guidance, some approach to losing weight and actually keeping it off, just type "coach me" down below. Shoot me a message on Facebook. Say "coach me." I'll reach out to you in a timely manner. Maybe not too quickly, but I'll get back to you, and I'll see you next time.